Hey Amarillo. I'm Skylar Gallup, and you're listening to Hey Amarillo. It is the interview podcast featuring some of the most interesting people and stories of Amarillo, Texas. We record each week at the beautiful offices of Rosenbach Contractors. They're experts in high-end design and construction, creating stunning, functional spaces through both new builds and remodels. Today's guest is Matthew Rosas. Matthew founded and operates the local upcycled clothing brand Momentum of Rosas, as well as America's Best Thrift Store, also here in Amarillo, and that's where he gets most of the pieces he uses as the basis of his clothing line. Matthew didn't start in fashion, though. He spent a good handful of years as a teacher and a coach at the school he came up in. He is full of heart and creativity and artistry and love, which you will hear clearly when he talks about the inspiration for his upcoming runway show. I really enjoyed learning about his work and an industry I wouldn't have assumed was very present in Amarillo. But, as we know, Amarillo tends to surprise us. Here's Matthew. Well, Matthew Rosas, welcome to the Hey Amarillo podcast.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having me on and so excited for this.
As am I. We like to start at the beginning around here, and that is to ask, where are you from?
Amarillo, Texas.
Nice.
Right here. Yep.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about growing up in Amarillo. Where'd you go to school, and what'd you want to be, and what was young Matthew?
Yeah, so what I wanted to be was a meteorologist.
Oh, fun.
But it was because I was deathly afraid of tornadoes. So I made sure I understood what the weather was like. And then I just saw that was, a job. And so I kind of loved, I guess, weather systems, also scared of them. So I was very aware of that. But yeah, I went to Lawndale Elementary and then went to Catholic school, 6th through 12th at Holy Cross.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting, I think, tell on someone's personality that I'm afraid of this, and so I'm going to lean all the way in with understanding.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That was exactly it. Yeah.
And then after high school, what was where did your path go?
So my mom is a pharmacy tech, and so I ended up going to Wayland for a year, and I was going under pharmacy, and then decided I was deep into sports and loved sports.
Oh,
and
nice. What sports did you put? Just every one of them, or?
Yeah, every one of them, but mainly basketball and football.
Cool.
That was my bread and butter, and I ended up going and switching to coaching, like a educator degree, so I can be able to coach. And so I did that at AC, and then went to WT, and then ended up going back to coach and teach at Holy Cross.
Oh, nice.
School. Yeah. And I did that for 7 years.
What was that experience like? Did you love it?
Oh, I loved every minute of it. Every career comes with its trials and tribulations, but it's such a beautiful thing to see the relationships I built out of that with the students, the athletes, and my fellow teachers, coworkers, and still have relationships with them today. And it's a testament to how much of an impact those years had on me.
Yeah. So I have no idea, actually, because I both did not go to private school and am not sportsy.
You're going to learn today.
Yeah, there we go. So I'm glad to ask you. What is competition in private school sports look like? Is there private school competition?
Oh, yeah. Well, and a lot of times the private schools obviously are smaller than your Amarillo Highs of the world, Tascosas of the world. So we would play River Road. We would play public schools, but they were smaller. Channing, LaFours, out of town, around. Yeah. And then here in Amarillo, I believe there's 3 other private schools that we would play as well. And,
okay, so there's a structure.
Absolutely. Cool. And about an hour out, there's quite a bit of schools that you can compete with and schedule games and stuff like that. So
I see.
But a lot of our district, whenever we went into district play, like any other school, we're in Wichita Falls or Lubbock. So we did a lot of traveling. We had one team in El Paso that we got to travel to. So that was kind of that's the competition within the private school. It's a little bit different, but there's a lot of similarities of how some of the schools here, larger schools, run as well.
Yeah. I think that everyone is is keenly aware of the impact of teachers.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
actually think coaches hold their own. I wasn't sportsy,
Sure.
but I guess I swam, but I was very, very into speech and debate and theater.
Yeah, yeah,
And my
yeah.
coaches in those hold an even closer place in my heart than even some of the best classroom educators that I had.
And you want to talk about competitors,
Yeah.
speech and debate, like, because when at Holy Cross, we had a strong speech and debate team. And so working and teaching along those coaches, oh, they're competitive, and it's amazing to see the progress and the impact they have on those kids as well. So yeah.
Yeah, people that know me, I think, would not hesitate to call me a bit competitive. And it is from those days in Seminole
Sure,
ISD
yeah.
speech and debate.
There we go.
So talk to me about like the impact and like what it meant for you to be
Yeah.
able to be that for kids, to be that coach. Sometimes it's,
Right.
maybe not the first, but some of the first or earliest impactful experiences in
Yeah.
competition and greatness and
Right.
difficulty and struggle. And it just really sticks with you.
Absolutely. And I think the beauty in sports that I found was that it strips down a lot of your own insecurities whenever you're going up against competition. There's a lot of fear in that, and there's a lot of self doubt, and there's so much growth breaking that and getting out of that. But you need a strong coach to guide you and teach you and show you that it's possible to get out of this. And so, but I've also had many bad coaches. And I think that's why I got into coaching, is because I knew there were so many special kids out there that, whether they're fatherless or didn't have the best household, that maybe I can have somewhat of an impact on those kids and just be there, to listen, to help, to protect sometimes. And that was what I found to be life changing for me. And so, yeah, I'm very blessed with each and every single one of those kids, and the growth that you learn from them, because they teach you more than you could ever teach them. And that's how it goes. It's crazy how that works. Initially, I didn't know how powerful an impact it was. I went in because I love basketball. I love football. It was a sport. And then you start to learn that was how much more it gives.
Yeah. So you were able to do that for, you said 7 years, 8 years?
7 years, 2015 to 22.
That is far from, what I called you about. So
Far from, yeah.
although happy to learn about it, it's really
Absolutely.
beautiful.
There's a big pivot, but
Yeah, what was the pivot? Walk me
yeah,
through
so
that.
the pandemic was weird. The pandemic was weird. There was a lot of downtime, and we were told to teach during the pandemic. Did you have kids?
Yeah.
During that? So
My oldest was a kindergartner, so we were just
so you
getting,
experienced that.
Yes.
There wasn't much to be
Yes.
done. It was tough on both sides, teacher and the student. And so I was bored. And one thing that I always loved was fashion. And one of the biggest thing I loved to do as a coach was to develop and create and design our warm-ups and jerseys.
Oh, that's
I always
fun.
wanted our players to feel, you look good, you play good. Like that was the idea. And I would always tell our players that, like, we're going to have the best warm-ups and we're going to look good, but we're going to play the same way and we're going to match it. So that I always had like love in creating those and designing. So I worked with like manufacturers and bulk shirt companies and learning to do that. And I was like, what if I created something during this time and create a little brand and see how that went? And so I slowly did that. Yeah. And,
That's really interesting.
I was doing that at the same time as I was teaching. And I was able to eventually step away from coaching and mainly focus on teaching and the brand. And then I was able to teach a design class. And it felt like coaching again. I had students that wanted to go in there not knowing what they were doing. I didn't know what I was doing either. They didn't know that. So I had to go in there, step into this role, and we got to design together and create clothing. And I got to teach them how to mock up pieces. And then by the end of that year, we were able to do a runway. That was my first runway show, was with the students. And they got to choose their own model and have their one-of-one piece on the runway. And yeah, that was kind of the start of it.
That's really cool. Like that your whole area of work is so foreign to me. I don't know. I'm not even particularly into fashion. I mean, I like wear clothes that I'm supposed to wear
You look
for.
great today.
Thank you very
Yeah, you
much.
look very fashionable.
But but if denim styles are always changing, and I have to
Sure,
ask my best friend
sure.
what kind of jeans am I purchasing
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
so I don't
yeah.
look like a loser. But I think where I would like to start is tell me what your setup is right now. What have you achieved? What have you built in the time from that first
Sure.
runway show with
Right.
your kids, which is so neat.
Yeah,
And then we can
yeah.
kind of like walk into it from there.
Absolutely. So initially it was screen printing. So it's just you send in a design, you get a screen printer, and they create, whatever you want. And I just would do simple tees and simple hoodies and, and create little collections of Momentum of Roses
So you developed the brand first.
first.
And then you
yeah.
started creating the
And then I
pieces
started
with them.
exactly
Cool.
runway pieces. So initially it was like bulk items. So multiple shirts, multiple hoodies. And then it got to creating and sewing one of ones and one-off pieces to put on the runway. But yeah, it started being a vendor. I just wanted to go out and do vendor markets and just, hey, here's the brand. And so I would go to like Dallas, OKC, Denver, Midland, all over just to put out the clothing and put it out there. And then I started spray painting on clothes and then painting on clothes and then cutting up clothes and then sewing on clothes. And that's kind of how it slowly developed into actually doing runways.
Yeah.
And the goal with this was to have more flexibility with my kids.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. And then I got overwhelmed with doing all these markets. I was like, what am I doing? The reason I did this was to be with them more. And I was like, well, what if I focused on runway shows, put one or two a year, and that's the big thing. And so that was kind of, there's so much more going into that, but that was kind of the start of actually putting runway shows together. But yeah, it started with just vendor markets, just setting up, putting out these screen printed pieces and getting the brand out there and the mission, what it's about. So
Yeah, so I thank you for walking me into that. So explain Momentum of Roses. Where did it come from? And kind of, that like foundation for you.
Sure. So my last name is Rosas, which is roses in Spanish. So that's where the roses comes from. And my last year of coaching was a very tough year for me. And every year we had a word that we focused on as a team, whether that's persevere or accountability, and we'd always bring everything back to that word. My last year of coaching was momentum. And so that was the idea. What I would teach the kids is in a game, no team can play a perfect game, but whoever carries the most momentum for the longest time wins, or they have that advantage. And so the idea was just, we can be in a slump, but all it takes is one moment to shift the momentum. And then we would implement that into daily life. All it takes is one moment, one good act, one struggle to push through to shift the momentum in your direction.
Totally.
And so I always try to find ways to build it into not only my life, but everybody else around me and my circle. So Momentum of Roses. I needed a good acronym. And so MOR was like the more, I don't know, it just kind of...
It works.
It works. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where it came from.
This episode is sponsored by the Amarillo Art Institute at Arts in the Sunset, a center for Amarillo's vibrant art scene. They've got classes and galleries and monthly events open to the public, including the First Friday Art Walk and their summer market. That's every Saturday from 8 in the morning until noon and features artists, artisans, and the Golden Spread Farmers Market. That runs early June through mid-September. Check them out on Facebook. That's the Amarillo Art Institute at Arts in the Sunset. Okay, so help me understand runway fashion. What do you, I didn't mean this to happen, but I watched The Devil Wears Prada 2
Oh my gosh.
earlier
Perfect.
today.
Okay.
So I'm an expert, except I think I have like 20 minutes left because my kids needed me. But so I'm an expert at this point.
There we go.
No,
Perfect. You can teach me a thing or two.
there
I
we
need to
go.
learn.
So tell me about runway fashion
Yeah.
and like,
So
are these pieces, are you hand sewing
yes,
and
yes,
stuff?
ma'am.
And then
Yeah.
like, how do you make money on it? And how do
Yeah.
you monitor? Like, yeah,
This is
I
awesome.
don't
I love
know.
all these questions. So when you think of a runway, it is very professional and quiet and stoic. I didn't want that. I wanted our runways to have rap songs and R&B and just a little different in the sense of like I want people dancing while these models are walking down. I want people clapping loud and woo woo woos and all of that. And so how we built out the runway was the models we would get was initially just through word of mouth. And it was obviously we wanted a diverse group of roster for our models, but it was more so what was your personality like, not what you look like. How can you set that runway on fire? And so, it's built from that. But yeah, so we chose our models, and then initially it was just me, but now I have an amazing sewing team of Jose, who's my co-designer, and then I have Greta and Lucas, who's interning.
Nice.
Lucas is interning, and Greta's our stitch specialist. So I have an amazing team. But yeah, we're sitting in my garage every Saturday. We're meeting tomorrow, and we're sewing and painting and doing the whole shebang. Yeah. And so we'll put out a collection. Like we have an upcoming show on August 29th, and we have 19 models, and we're designing for each model. And all those are one-of-one pieces that we sewed and handcrafted.
Yeah, and I think I read that you're, and help me with the right. This is like the first time you've done a runway show with a modeling agency, right?
Yes, we're working with Anderson Modeling and Talent Agency. Her name is Cheryl. She's incredible, and it was always scary for me to collaborate because we need creative freedom on our end because we're telling stories. I have a model coordinator, Carlos Perez and Riley. When we do runways, there's choreography, there's dance, it's different. We're telling a story. And I was afraid like a model agency may water that down. And Cheryl has been a godsend. She has been amazing and allowed us so much creative freedom. We have learned from her. Hopefully she has learned from us. And it's been so much fun working with her and her team. So
Well, that's very exciting,
yeah.
and congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think I'm wondering about, is there like a fashion community, like a creators? I know there are boutiques. There's great locally owned boutiques, in fact,
Sure.
in Amarillo.
Sure.
But I think like you've just named all these people, and I'm like, so there are other people that do this.
Oh, yeah.
So there's like, and do other people have fashion shows? And is there like a whole
Sure.
thing?
There absolutely are.
Cool.
And there's other people doing clothing. And I'll be honest, they're a million times better than me. I can truly say that. The one thing, and I think this is the competitiveness and that type of aspect. I love what I do. I think I have a good eye. But artist-wise, I'm nowhere near a lot of these people. But the one thing I will do is bring people in one room and we'll be on the same page and put on a show. And I think I've been able to build such a beautiful team to help me with that. And so a lot of the times when we do these shows, I ask those other brands and ask other people to put their clothes on the runway. The goal with these is to provide platforms. It's not for just me. Just because MOR's name is on it, I want other brands to be able to be featured on there. So we're going to have 3 other brands on the runway. Now they're boutiques and then vintage stores, but I want y'all to showcase what you got too. And so, yeah, that's the goal with these is to provide platforms for those other people. And amazing, we're bringing 9 other artists who are creating galleries who should be seen. Their art should be seen. And that's my goal is to be able to hand select these people and be like, please set up because you deserve to be seen. Your work is incredible. And I think that's the least we can do. People, like you asked, is there a community? Absolutely. And these people deserve to be seen. And that's the goal with these shows is to showcase how many incredible artists are in Amarillo. So.
Well, and I think also it's very wise, the saying like a rising tide lifts all boats, right?
There it is.
One of the best ways, I would assume, if your goal were to be, to make Amarillo a center for curated fashion. What is that? What is like,
Yeah, so I manage at a thrift store, America's Best Thrift, and that's where I get all my upcycled. So we would call it upcycled fashion.
upcycled
Upcycled,
fashion?
yeah, because
Cool.
everything is upcycled and created and blended together with
Yeah.
different fabrics. We're not going to a fabric store. We're going straight to my thrift where I work at, and we're getting everything there.
And
And
upcycling is having a moment. I think I actually just watched a Today Show segment about this. That like the
absolutely,
kids are
absolutely.
thrifting and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We stay busy. That's for sure. And it's amazing because people, like this morning, I took my son to work and we shopped and did our school shopping there. And we found, you find the best quality in thrift stores a lot of times. I mean, I don't know. So I vouch heavily for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you find your stuff in the thrift stores,
Hmm.
take it to your team, you guys sew on it, change it,
Yeah, we'll
and
sketch
then
out. We'll sketch out designs, start bringing fabrics together, look at color palettes, and then we start getting to cutting and sewing. Hmm.
talk to me about your design. What's your vibe?
Yeah, so New York streetwear. New York streetwear is kind of I would put that all in there. Now, I've been able to slowly go to more elegant side of things using silks and laces, and that's been a huge part from my co-designer Jose. I'm more streetwear. He loves the more avant-garde type couture, and
Hmm.
he's grown me and helped me see a different side of fashion. And so it's like blending that elegant with street is what we're doing right now. So it's been a lot of fun and tough. We're trying to find that middle ground with it, and I think we're starting to hit our stride. So it's been a lot of fun working with him.
That's very interesting to learn about.
Yeah,
Where did this come from for you?
fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think BET. I loved music videos on BET.
Cool.
Loved it, and I think just the culture within like R&B and hip hop, like '90s and early 2000s, like just got me deep into like that type of street fashion. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just love that. And my brother, we're 7 years apart. He put me on quite a bit of music, and
Older than?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah. And he was deep into that music, and so we would have that MTV and BET music videos all the time. And I think just seeing, what they were wearing and that type of street culture was something that I loved, and just how the colors blend and the fabrics, and I don't know. And then growing up into sports in the early 2000s, 90s as well, where I was, it was like you're either an athlete or an artist. You can't be both. Now you see all the athletes are artists, and it's incredible. But at that time, like I grew up sketching, and then I just like drawing, and I put that aside and just went straight sports. And then I was able to kind of come back to the artist kind of stuff. And I'm trying to teach my boys that you can do both. Yeah.
It's why I asked the question, and actually almost added, Mr. Football Player, like what, because it
I
is
couldn't do that thing. I don't know. You didn't want to get made fun of.
I get it, yeah.
And that was on me. Like I grew up playing the violin, and I regret it so much I put it down. But a lot of it was because of insecurities. I was afraid to be told this, and I was afraid to be called that. So I put a lot of that aside. And then once you realize, like, if I do it the way I want to do, I kind of stand out in certain ways, and people respect that too. And then you learn that. Um,
You talked about trying to teach your son different. I had an experience with my 12-year-old, and it was like, I was so mad. I don't know who did this, but somebody put that message in his heart to he's a saxophonist, to stop playing the saxophone. And it's like, they're old, they're too old that you can't control, but somebody said something to my son that made him,
Yeah.
and you just hate it when that happens. And I
Right.
appreciate that you kind of are taking your journey through that and showing your sons a different way.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I appreciate you sharing that story about your son, because with my boy, like he's so into history and just like that aspect. And I can't relate. I can't connect on that, and he doesn't care about fashion or anything. So, we get into sports a little bit, but to see he has a passion, I'm so blessed.
That's it.
I'm so,
Totally.
and just like you, to see your child has a passion, point blank period.
Yeah.
That's it. So we're so blessed that they found something, and you just got to feed that in any which way you can, because there's going to be so many people out there that are going to put an ugly voice in their head, and it's our job as parents to keep feeding that encouragement and motivation and what they love.
Yeah.
So
I am also interested. I understand this show that you've got coming up, which is, what's the date? August
August 29th.
29th. And is it at Sunset?
It's at Arts in the Sunset and the Legacy Room, which Arts in the Sunset has been such a beautiful space. What Rachel and Mike have done out there for the art community and everybody involved, it's incredible what they've done. So yeah, what better place? Arts in the Sunset.
Yep.
August 29th. Doors open at 6. Show will start about 7:15. We got ticket sales. We're selling tickets at the door as well. So yeah.
You've been very clear that all of the work that you do is really based in, design and artistry and telling stories. And this show coming up is, from what I understand, a pretty special story or celebration for you.
Yeah.
It's clear in this conversation that your kids are very, very important to you, and you've got another one on the way.
I got a baby girl on the way, October 6th.
Congratulations.
And so thank you so much. And this show was very inspired by her. And initially when I brought it to the team, I want to start using my faith within these shows more often, because I got away from that when I first started without realizing how much God has placed in my life to be in a position to help in any which way. And so I knew this was important to be able to utilize the word promise with God's name connected as well. And I think the way I approached it was that we are promised one thing before we're born, that we'll be loved forever and always. And I don't know why I'm getting emotional. And that I think we're all searching for that love, And we have 3 phases of life, I believe: survive, surrender, and stay. And that's what this show is built off of. My daughter doesn't fully understand yet, when she's born, the God concept, but it's my job to show that to her. Promise me you'll survive, promise me you'll surrender, and promise me you'll stay. And that surrender phase is so important. Give up control and give it to God. And yeah, I'm sorry I got emotional on that. This means a lot to me. This show means a lot to me. And more importantly, the people involved and my family and my daughter, who's about to be important, means the world to me. So
That's lovely, and thank you for sharing it.
of course, thank you.
How many runway shows have you done?
Over 10. I think we're at 12 right now.
What are aspirational goals for a guy that does the work that you do?
Mm-hmm.
What does this turn into? Also, is the idea that there are people coming to your runway shows that are going to say, I want to put that in my store?
Yes. And we have been in a couple stores in Midland,
Okay,
Lubbock, and here in Amarillo as well. And those are amazing opportunities, and hopefully something comes out of that as well. But I think what I want to focus on after this show, you asked about aspirations. What's after this? I want to just be with my family. That was the goal with this, was to put this show on, do what we can. I got approached at the beginning of the year from Cheryl. Hey, she's the one that asked me. She motivated me to put this, to get this going. And so when she approached me at the beginning of the year, I said, yes, but we got to have it at this certain date. Mm-hmm. And so I promised my wife, my kids, because this takes a lot of time away from them. And so after this show, goal is to focus on family. And I have an amazing team who's going to be able to hopefully move this forward in the places that I can't for the time being. So we're still looking to do runway shows, possibly in Lubbock after this one, and possibly a local spot here in Amarillo as well, who we've been in talks with. But yeah, I would say those are the aspirations right now, is doing smaller things with the collection we're building out now, and then take a breath and just be with family and enjoy the rest of the year.
Yeah, how many handmade pieces in a show, in this show?
In this show
Yeah.
particularly, so we got 19 models. We're probably going to be at 40-ish
Yeah.
pieces. The last show we did, Pro Dreams, we had 59 total pieces.
Wow.
And that was the most that we've ever done. So,
Yeah.
yeah. And so we need, it takes about 3 to 4 months to build out usually for design and then production and, because we have live bands there. We got an MC. We got, live screen printing we're bringing in. So there's just a lot of moving parts. So 4 months is usually the sweet spot of building a full show like that and a collection at the same time.
What would you say that your hope for from this show is? Like, what do you hope to accomplish? As well as what would you hope that if someone like me who's never been to a fashion show, if I go, what would you hope that my experience would be like?
Okay, so first and foremost, on the artist side, I never felt like an artist. Because I guess I came late in the game. So there's so many people who I look at and I'm like amazed at. I'm nowhere near their level. However, I thought I never fit with like a clique of the artists here in Amarillo. So it was like, I'm going to bring y'all all in one room then. And that was always the goal with the show. So many different artists. Let's just bring everybody in a room and let's collaborate. So that's one of the goals with the show.
Nice.
Collaboration. You meet this person, y'all work on something together.
Cool.
You meet that person, let's work on this. And that's what I love. I love that. That's the goal on that end.
Yeah.
And then from the audience standpoint, just like you said, for you who's never been, is to be able to step in that room. And I love Amarillo. Love Amarillo. But I want you to feel like you're in New York. I want you to feel like you're in Tokyo. Like you just stepped into a whole new world that you've never experienced and didn't think was possible in Amarillo. That's one of my favorite compliments is like, I felt like I stepped in a whole new place coming in here. And that's the goal with this, for you to experience something you've never experienced and being able to step out and be like, being able to talk about it and just enjoy the music, the runway, the people, food, all of it.
Does your marketing feel like a shot in the dark? Are your social media posts getting lost in the scroll? Unlock your business's potential with SKP Creative. They know your audience and design posts that reflect your brand and drive real engagement. From scroll-stopping social media content to powerful traditional marketing, graphic design, and website development, SKP Creative covers it all. Are you ready to elevate your feed and turn your marketing into a success story? Visit skpcreative.com today. All right, I'm back with Matthew. This is the part of the show we call 8 Straight. Okay, when you think of Amarillo 10 years from now, what do you hope for?
I hope on the artist side of things, I think being able to see more big events surrounded by muralists and artists. And again, Arts in the Sunset, in 10 years, I see that being a staple of Amarillo and being a place where everybody in Amarillo knows to go in order to find creativity. And so,
when you were talking earlier about one of the goals for the show being that like you leave and say like that didn't feel like Amarillo, I think that's an us issue because actually I think that Amarillo doesn't feel like Amarillo. We just haven't changed our internal definition of our city. Because, with the muralists and with, fashion shows and all of the amazing art, I actually think that's an us thing.
How do we change that,
We just need to stop. We need to go like, no, yeah, this is Amarillo.
This is Amarillo.
And it is really great.
Right. That's so true. That's so true.
I like it.
I appreciate you touching base on that because, I think a lot of it, that's exactly it. I think a lot of us do look at it as like, but why not us? Hey, I'm from Amarillo and I did this. And I guess for the longest time, we've built that narrative.
It's totally an internal definition. Yeah. But you're also, putting together a fashion runway show.
Right.
In Amarillo. And you're raised here and doing it here at Arts in the
true.
Sunset, which is, the whole,
100%.
Yeah. I think your 10-year dream might be not that far from reality.
Right.
I like
another 10-year dream.
No. We accept. That's great.
Okay.
Okay. When was the last time you went to Palo Duro Canyon?
It's probably been 3 years.
Okay.
It's been a minute. We actually were gonna do we're doing a video shoot for this upcoming show, and we were gonna do it at Paladero. The logistics was just tough because we were gonna get. I think we had like 12 models to get out there, to find the right spot, film. It was a whole logistical thing, and we were able to pivot and find. But Paladero would have been an incredible spot. It's just so beautiful out there. So I think during the fall, I would love to take my family out there.
Yeah.
Just to, especially our youngest daughter, she's 6, and she would love it. I mean, she's gonna love the hikes and stuff like that. So I think once it cools down, I need to get out there.
Okay, so did you totally dig on the FIFA jersey shoot out at PDC?
Oh yeah, we actually had 2 models of our models model for that.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
and so we had to keep our mouths shut while they were doing it, but then to see the end product blew me away.
Yeah.
Blew me away. They
Yeah.
did an incredible job with it.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Right.
Other than wind, what does this area have too much of?
Too much. I don't know, the smell of cattle.
Yeah.
Could you say that?
That's
The
present.
smell- the
Too
s-
much of the
The
smell of
smell
cattle.
of cattle. I
That's-
would say, right?
That is
Okay.
fair. And what does this area not have enough of?
Rain.
Yeah.
Rain. We need it. I finally have a yard, and I need that rain.
Got a yard to take care of.
Yes. So.
Or a water bill to pay.
Nobody wants to do that.
Nope. What's your favorite local building, Matthew?
I think I said it. Arts in the Sunset would be
Ah.
one. Yeah, I think I just am there all the time, and I'm just in awe of how it keeps growing. So I know I keep going back to that, and no, they're not paying me for promo. I just love that building. So.
Well, I do have to correct you because they're a sponsor of the podcast.
Oh, are they? Okay, well they.
Although they didn't pay us to say it, but all of that to say,
They
I
are
am.
paid. Oh, okay, I
That's
didn't
right.
know
I
that.
am the biggest fan of Rachel and Mike out there.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's perfect, and it does continue to get better.
Yes, and
I
they're
took
doing
my
the
kid
hoodoo,
out.
the hoodoo festivals as
know.
well. There, yeah.
I took my kid to a glass blowing class a couple months ago. And like they're a whole and I go there relatively often for one thing or another as well.
Mhm.
And a whole new outdoor section was complete. I was like, well, this is beautiful. It's cool. Whether they're paying me or not, we like it. How about that?
There it is. There it is.
What's your favorite local restaurant?
Braceros on 6th Street.
Yes, solid choice.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got 8 hours to spend in Amarillo with someone who's never been here. What are y'all doing?
I think we're first starting at Braceros for brunch. I think
And
that's
a red
great-
beer
And a red beer.
because they make them good there.
Yep. That's a good start for brunch. Then we're hitting 6th Street, antiquing, shopping, checking out. They got a cool little video game spot down there too.
We love it. Game
Yep.
Quest.
Yep, Game Quest. There it is.
Yep.
And then probably go to America's Best Thrift. Check out. There's a
Where is that? Please tell me.
off of Plains Boulevard.
And
Plains and Georgia.
okay, cool.
Plains in Georgia.
Sweet.
Yeah. There's a
For
really
your
cool
school clothes shopping.
school clothes shopping, but there's a really cool like multimedia room that Michael Sandell built out there. It's really incredible. So probably go in there, hang out, and then if it's cooler at like 4 or 5, we can go to Paladero Canyon, go for a hike. That would probably be my day.
It's a lovely day.
Yeah.
Finally, what do you think people get wrong about Amarillo?
I think what we just talked about. I think right, like that perception of, not accepting. There's so many incredible people and so many incredible minds here, and just embrace the fact that we're Amarillians.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we call them?
Yeah.
Amarillians.
Yeah.
And that we're building something special here.
Mm,
Yeah.
I agree with that. I like to offer my guests the opportunity to endorse something. So something that you would have someone try out, learn about, give it a shot. What would that be?
Yeah. So I would say our runway show,
As you should.
August 29th. Doors open at 6. The show starts at 7:15. We're going to have 3 separate runways, 4 total brands, live music by Groove Anthem, incredible band, live screen printing by The Humble Hustle. There's going to be vendors, amazing food trucks. It's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a great night with just great people, huge community of artists, and we are benefiting the Colorful Closet. Profit will be going to them, and they're just awesome. They help clothe those kids in need at Amarillo ISD and Canyon ISD. So they're going to be there, and there may be a secret runway for them that will be auctioning off some one-of-one pieces for them. So August 29th.
It sounds like a
Yeah.
wonderful time.
Yeah.
Matthew, thank you so much for coming on the podcast,
Thank
for your
you so
work in
much.
town, and
Yeah.
being part of really what is an amazing artist community.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.
And that concludes the episode. Thanks to Matthew for the interview. Thank you to Amarillo Art Institute at Arts in the Sunset and SKP Creative for supporting the podcast, and to Broderick Adams for editing every week. And thank you for listening. This has been episode 461 of Hey Amarillo. I am Skylar Gallup, and we hope you'll come back next week.